Everybody, Jeff, happy 2019, happy New Year's to all the people that subscribe to my channel or watch to my channel. So here we are, January 1st, 2019. I hope each of you have a happy, healthy, prosperous, and a great harvest in your garden this year. Well, as you know, I've been talking about in the past, we've had a ton of rain and hasn't boded well for the garden. I was just looking at Blake Kirby's channel, and he's got the same situation. So been a little bit tough for Houston gardening this year. Anyway, I'm starting my seeds. Let me show you a little bit. This is my inside office where I am right now. Let me show you some of the seeds I'm starting. Remember last week I showed you a video about 8 days ago where I was starting pepper seeds. Many of you have bought pepper seeds from me, Jimmy Nardello or Shishito seeds. As said before, they probably have typically 50 to 60% germination rate. I think mine are doing pretty good. They appear to be about 70, 75%. I'll show you what they're doing. Remember, they take a while. So if you're in the South, like Houston or Mississippi, Alabama, New Orleans, start your pepper seeds now indoors so you can put them out in March and put those seedlings out and get the peppers up before it gets really, really hot in June or July. Tomatoes, you still got a few more weeks. We're probably not through the frost until about March 16th here in Houston, Texas. So let me show you how some of these seeds are starting here in my lab. Let me try to be as stable as possible here. That was not stable. So you see I have an indoor light set up. You can get it wherever you want to get it. I don't need to talk about that. I talked about that in my last video. But let's take a look at what we have here. So in my seed starters, we have two things. Obviously, we talked about last time, you need a heat mat. You need seed starting mix, not potting mix, seed starting mix. And I use the Orta planters. You can use whatever you want. At the end of the day, the soil for peppers needs to be about 75, 80 degrees. That's why the heat mat. This lamp is on 14 hours a day at this point in time. I've lifted it, but it is about 4 inches over the top of the baby seedlings, okay? So let's take a look at what I got going here. I have two going here right now on the heat mat. As I talked about before, get yourself a timer, make it easy for you. The timer shuts both the heat mat and the lamp, which is right there, off on time. So let's take a look at it. So in this column right here, in this first column, I have Jimmy Nardello seeds, okay? So as you'll see there, I planted 2 seeds in each of the rows there. So let me try to be as stable as possible in this row, 2. So there's a 95% germination rate for Jimmy Nardello. You see there's actually 2 seeds that stuck together, so let's say a 96% germination rate, okay? Doing pretty well. Remember, with this seed starter, the water goes in the reservoir and it goes through the walls of the clay and the terracotta pot, okay? In the middle row, I have Shishitos. You got 2 here. You got 1 here so far. You got 1 and 1 popping up. Nothing on this one yet, so let's call it 60% germination in that row. And then back over here, I have Jimmy Nardello. So there's 3 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 popping up, and nothing here yet. So let's call it 60%. So sometimes they take a little bit more time, and I'm not too terribly concerned, but remember, starting pepper seeds can be a little bit finicky, folks. So just take your time with it. Don't get frustrated, okay? So that's what I have there. Over here, I just planted these recently. So I'm going to really go back to a lot of dwarf planting, so dwarf tomatoes and some dwarf peppers. So in the back there, you can see by the name, I do have Mohawk peppers. So they're a sweet pepper. They are on a plant that only gets to be about 18 inches high, and they're perfect for container gardening. So I have 2 seeds in each of those. I planted those on 1230. I also have 2 Cubanelle peppers, a sweet pepper. I'm going to try them this year. That's not a dwarf plant. I'll be planting that in my garden, another Cubanelle there, okay? Over here, we've got some tomatoes. So I've got the Alca Alkia dwarf tomato. I'm going to be planting that probably in my green stalk garden. I got another Alca Polish dwarf tomato. They get to be about 1.5 feet, 2 feet. The fruit, I think, is about 6 ounces for each fruit. It's a red, sweet tomato, an eating tomato, or you put on sandwiches. And over here, I've grown these before. This is the F1 hybrid patio tomato. So with that, they get to be about 8 inches long and full. Tons of small cherry tomatoes, so another good one for the container gardens. So you see I have 3 cells left open in the middle there. I'm going to hold tight on those. I do believe I got another red, can't remember of it offhand, but a red sweet pepper from England, the United Kingdom, to grow there. They get about 8 inches long. So I'm going to try to do a little bit more with container gardens this year, see what I can do. The great thing about a container garden, such as a green stalk garden or any one you get, is that you can certainly control the pests, control the weeds, and then control the nutrients that go into your plant. So that's what I have going on there. That's planting. Everything's doing very well so far. I'll give you an update in a week or two as those seedlings get a little bit bigger and these things start to sprout. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I did get an Aerogarden, and this is made, I believe, by Miracle Grow. It's an aeroponic system, and I just love it. It's a great thing. I know Kang Star also has one. These things are a little bit expensive. They run about $250, but as you can see, it's a built-in lighting system, and this top raises up to 3 feet based on these things right here. And this thing is a complete reservoir. This thing is all programmed. It just, all you have to do is add the nutrients. It'll tell you day by day what you need to do. This is where you fill the water. It'll show you the fill line. And each of these here are little pods that look like this, okay? And you simply drop the seeds in there, you mark them, and I've taken the domes off, but when you start, they put, well, here's one with a dome on it, okay? It's a dome, and it kind of creates a greenhouse effect. So what you'll see there is you got some lettuce growing, okay? And I just went through a whole crop of herbs, and they went berserk. They just grew so quick, so fast. And I had to increase this hood, this lighting hood, all the way up to 3 feet, okay? And they grow relatively quick. It's going to grow 3 times as fast as a soil garden, okay? Again, you don't even have to, you can put what you're growing, tomatoes, dwarf peppers, herbs, and this garden adjusts for the time, the amount of time it turns on and off these lights, and the amount of time that the filtration Aerogarden system. So it's kind of foolproof. It works well for me because I travel a lot. And you'll see there I do have some other lettuce growing, some red sail lettuce. I've got some romaine lettuce growing. I planted this first. I think this is Black Simpson lettuce. And all of these are cut and come again. So you will have full lettuce, full-on lettuce within a month, month and a half. You can just keep picking from it. The reason I like this, especially if you live in Houston, Texas, or in the South, you can do this in the summer. As long as you keep your house around 70 degrees, you don't have to worry about your lettuce bolting, okay? You can always have a fresh salad or do whatever you want to do. If you go to Aerogarden, look at them online. I don't get paid by them. I bought this one for $250. It works well for me. I'm looking to get a second one as well. Anyway, for those looking to experiment with aeroponics, or those that have a difficult time growing winter, fall type crops like lettuce and herbs and other things in the heat of the summer in the South, this will work well for you. Also, if you're up north and you get terrible frost and things won't grow, you can grow tomatoes inside any time of the year with this. So check it out. These are kind of expensive. They're not the most economical, but I think they're built for convenience and efficiency. Hopefully they'll come down in price a little bit more. This is an update, again, from Jeff, your executive gardener. I hope each of you have, again, a happy, healthy, prosperous, great harvest for your new year. Again, if you're in the South, start planting your pepper plants about now. Happy New Year to all. See you next time. Bye.